Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Omar here from Stable Smart Solutions, and today we are going to be talking about the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. Without further ado, let's talk about it. Okay, cool. So, Galaxy Note 10 Plus. I think you all know about it already. They came out with the Note 10, Note 10 Plus. I like the the flagship models of phones. So this is the big 6.8 inch one here, and let's see what we got here. I got mine in black, and it's, like I said, 6.8. Okay, first thing, let's start with the operating system. First off, it's Android. I think this is running Android 9. You all know what it is already. Android doesn't change over time, neither does iOS. They pretty much do incremental upgrades to them. They add a few new features, but neither one are ever going to do a serious overhaul to the operating system. So with the operating system, it's something you're familiar with, you already know. Alright, let's start with the things I do not like about the Samsung Note 10 Plus. Nothing. This phone here, this is a great phone. This is a beast. I like this thing a lot. So with that being said, I want to point out two people in particular. I want to point out my man Steven down in New Orleans, as well as Chuck here in the DMV. This is a good phone. I don't know what phones you guys are currently running, but I know you guys are big Android users and you both somehow hate iPhone. So this is a beast. This is a damn good phone. Alright, let's get to a few other things about this phone. Let's get to the things that I like. First off, the battery. 4,300 milliamp hour battery. You're going to need that battery because this screen is big, bright, and beautiful. That was corny. But hell, this thing is nice. 6.8 inches, like I said. My iPhone XS Max is 6.5. But for some reason, when you hold this feels so much bigger in hand. You have that complete edge display on this, whereas with the iPhone you have, a small bezel around it, but still a bezel. Where this goes edge to edge. Like, this display is beautiful. It's so much brighter than my iPhone as well. Like, anything while I had this, if there was something that I wanted to watch, I preferred watching it on this. Which now leads me to my favorite feature of this phone, and it's the camera. This triple camera design is great. You got the telephoto lens, the standard wide angle lens, and the ultra wide angle lens. Another thing they did with this phone, with the camera in particular that I loved, is they let you take advantage of the entire screen for the camera. iPhone doesn't do that. I don't mean to make this a comparison video, but anyone's going to. I mean, you have two major players in the game. So this is the latest flagship phone. I will also be getting the iPhone 11 Pro Max to also, do some comparison with this, with that new triple camera system they have. Apple, if anyone's watching, please listen to this part. Let your camera settings be controlled within the camera app. Apple, if I don't like what I'm seeing, I have to leave out of the camera app, go to settings, go down to the camera app and settings, then make my changes, then go back to the camera. Everything I want to do on here related to the camera, I can do within the camera app. Thank you. With that being said, I want to go ahead and show you guys a few photos that I took while my wife and I were out on vacation. Alright, now since there weren't anything that I disliked about the phone, but there were three things that I was like, don't really care. And I'm going to go ahead and get into those three things. First, being DeX. Don't care for it. Why would I want to put a mobile OS on my computer? I didn't need to buy a Windows computer or MacBook to then run Android 9 on it. Like, that makes no sense to me. It's pointless. And then they have a DeX dock that at an additional charge. Not a fan of that. Don't see the point. They're also going to be running, I think it's called like Microsoft Sync or something, Windows Sync, whatever they're calling it, that comes out this fall, where you'll be able to access your contacts you know, to be able to send and receive text messages and phone calls from a Windows 10 computer while hooked up to, you know, the new phone. Next thing, the zoom in mic feature. So conceptually, it sounds great. What you're able to do is pull up the camera app, go to video, you can start filming your video, and let's say there's something off to the left that you really want to focus your audio on, you zoom in like you typically would with the optical digital zoom on this, and then it amplifies the audio of the subject that you're zooming in on. Sounds great, but the only problem with that is when you do that on a cell phone camera, typically you degrade the video quality and that starts to go down. So that's the only thing. It'll be great for audio, but not so much for video. By the way, go ahead and take a look at this example I have. Whoa. Before I play this, understand, to all my Redskin fans, I apologize in advance.
You know, making the play calls now, as well as the media availabilities now. Chris Rashawn representing Dallas.
It's second down.
I'll move back, Washington. Listen, Rod Marinelli wants to do one thing, and that is teach.
Yes.
The last feature I really don't care about, and it seems to be what makes this a flagship model. That's this S Pen. I don't care for this. Like, we can just throw that away. Like, this phone is great by itself. Nothing about the S Pen made the experience more enjoyable for me. You know, never did I want to jot down something with this S Pen and felt like I needed it. You know, they show how you can, you know, pull out the S Pen and quickly jot down notes. Well, also on Android, you're able to map the two bottom buttons to make those different things, you know, touch sensitive on the screen. So I just remapped one of those, instead of the phone, I remapped it to a notes app and was able to jot down notes. Because with the S Pen on this screen, I actually type faster on the keyboard than I do while writing with the S Pen on this screen. But I don't want to write on this. You know, this is too small. It's 6.8 inches. Like, I don't want to write on this. You know, maybe on a tablet or something like that with a larger display. But so for me, the S Pen really wasn't a feature I was sold on. They also have this gimmick thing where you can hold it. I threw it over there. I don't feel like going to get it. But you can, like, they showed this really lame presentation where a lady was in a board meeting and she's holding the phone and she's like going like this to like, and then she can swipe like this to like go forward, you know, on the next slide or do different things like that. That's called a gimmick and it's lame. And if you remember, a few years back, Samsung did the same thing with those gestures, but they did it with your hand where you could like swipe like this to go back and forth on your photos. Those are gimmicks that they just transitioned over to the pen. They didn't work before in the past. That's why they stopped doing the hand gestures and they just moved them to the pen. With, what is this thing doing? Shut up. So anyway, like I was saying, well, I won't call the S Pen a gimmick. It has one great feature. And that you can stand your phone somewhere off to the side and you can have the S Pen and you can hit that button and it will take photos for you. That's a great feature. That is something nice that you can have with the S Pen. I will give it that. I want to get to my final thoughts on this phone. Let me grab it. Let me show you again. Samsung Note 10 Plus. Amazing phone. Until my next video, till my next review, you guys, yeah, keep watching. Keep watching. Appreciate it. Get friends and family to like, share, subscribe. Leave comments below. And if there's anything you guys want me to review, let me know in the comments. Send me a message. Hell, if you know me, reach out to me directly. Be like, hey, Omar, go spend your money on that so I don't have to. And talk about it. I may just do that. Until next time, you guys be safe. Later.